All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's your boy Dave coming back at you live. It is a happy Fast Money Friday. Welcome to the last trading day of the week before our long weekend, right? We got the Memorial Day weekend coming on up. We got Monday, folks. Market is closed. So therefore, today is our last day before we head into that long weekend, and then we'll be back again next Tuesday. So looking to make the most out of it today before the long weekend. Appreciate people that are here today because, a lot of folks like to take the day off of the long weekend and not trade. But for those that are here, uh, happy to see you guys. So let's get into the news, and then we'll jump into our watch list. Turns out that NVIDIA isn't enough to lead the whole market. The Dow Jones Industrial Average had its worst session in more than a year on Thursday, falling more than 600 points or 1.53%. The S&P 500, meanwhile, fell 0.74%. The Nasdaq Composite tumbled 0.39%. That came despite chipmaker and AI darling NVIDIA rising more than 9% with a market cap of more than 2.5 trillion. It has considerable weight over the S&P 500, but the majority of the stocks in the broad market index turned negative, which could indicate a lack of market breadth. All right, getting into the watch list this morning. Fridays, the slowest trading of the week is what we usually say. Some days, especially on the futures market, it can be one of the better days. On the stock side, though, it is going to be a bit more slower because we're not going to see a lot of companies releasing hot press releases, right? They know that a lot of traders, they're going to be what? Taking the day off today, going on a Memorial Day weekend. They're going to save that hot press release so that they can boost up their stock shares on a better day when more traders are active. So that's something to keep in mind. AKAN, this is the number one gainer on our watch list right now. We have been able to play this successfully from the 575 break and all the way up to 644 here. So congratulations, you guys got that meat of the move right here on AKAN here. This was our first trade, I believe, that went through for the morning. So other than that, it's just started to sell off, lower highs, lower lows. It got bearish, right? And then we're still bearish right now. Why? Because we're still in this downtrend. So the only thing that's holding up is this trend line right here, a little bit of that higher low. We need to wedge out, get the buyers come back in, get the VWAP roll, and then AKN may have a shot again for a nice run. So far, this is up 118%, 14 million in volume traded. It's on SSR. That stands for short sell restricted. What else can we talk about? AKN, I mean, this is a little bit more on the higher float end, 69 million in flow. Again, flows number of shares offered to the public. So that is going to be something that you have to keep in mind. That's going to be a little bit slower. It's not going to be as crazy volatile like these other smaller float names. United Kingdom Healthcare Company. And obviously, there is no new news this morning. This does come after a reverse stock split yesterday. So keep in mind, this is a reverse split name that happened the other day. All right. All right, moving forward to the next stock here, guys. I'm going to be watching NCPL. So this is a top second gainer, currently trading at 30 cents. Another successful trade of the morning. If you guys took the play at 32 cents, and we hit up to 36 cents so far as a pre-market high. We'll see if this guy will be able to break the same line again at the 32. So I will watch the 32-cent area because, again, micro pennies this week has been the theme. It's been hot. So you have to expect that micro pennies to be the ones that is going to get more of the attention again. I don't know how long that's going to last. It depends. Maybe we come back next week, Tuesday, maybe $5 runners, $10 runners, who knows? But all we know is that right now, this has been sort of like the newest theme, 32-cent re-break. I will highly watch for that nice downtrend breakout on this NCPL. All right, real quick, I know market's going to open up here in 2 minutes. This is a USA financial company, 16 million flow, so it's not the lowest float, but, not a high float either. So overall, the stock, no news, just penny stock, micro penny stock status. So that's why it's been running on up. All right, let me go down the list one real quick. TIRX, this one is also on our watch list, trading at $3.36 right now. Got a nice little breakout at $4 and hit all the way up to $4.33. So nice little trade there. Other than that, TIRX right now is downtrending. So once again, we'll be watching for a right now, testing the 200, wait for that nice bounce at the market opening, break out of the downtrend line. This is a Chinese financial company. This is a low float 1.86 million float. So a very low float. They had a recent reverse split, I believe. That was back on the 8th. But other than that, that's about it on this guy. There's no new news. And then market is gonna be opening up here in a minute. But PAVs and CCG. PAVs, definitely not something that I'm gonna be looking for here. I was looking for that 175. It just got massively shorted here, right at that 175. It had to break that mark. It was a big resistance and back down to 111. So, you know, maybe with this massive pullback, there could be a nice, you know, a little bit of the opportunity for a little dip buy and a reverse back up towards the VWAP. You could look for a little bit of play there. 5 million flow. Last but not least, I have the CCG here, currently trading at $1.68 or so. Not a whole lot of room there. I think, you know, might be able to scalp at the 180 to $2. Chinese communication service company, 11 million flow. They did have their first quarter 2024 earnings release and conference call date today. All right, here we go, folks. Market is now going to be opening up. Here we go. Let's have a great, fantastic Fast Money Friday. So first things first, AKN, I'll be watching for this here to see if we can hold out the $5. NQ right now, we did get a little quick pop up before the drop here. So that's what's happening. Well, keep in mind, we have a big resistance line here at 18,772 that I drew. You got wick, rejection, lower highs and lower lows should be happening back down to VWAP. Last time it did bounce off the VWAP, so both are going to need to buy back in here and bounce. Look at that just now right here to the 18,731 line. And then now it's back to 41. It's a quick 10-point jump. RSI still bullish. ATR is nice. I like it since yesterday. Like I said, watch the Thursday. That's when the ATR is going to start jumping up and the future is going to get a little bit more exciting to trade again. So we'll be seeing today as well. It looks like similar case, a little bit better than the previous days. Probably not as good as yesterday, but we'll see. Fridays can be quite a surprise. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of this line real quick because right now $5 is very important here for AKN. You know, this BTTR, as I was going through the watch list, you know, this just kind of started popping out of nowhere. You know, started popping out around 840. Well, actually, no, excuse me, 920. So BTTR is currently halted up. Let me just go take a look at that. But AKN, let's see the VWAP roll here. It is trying. We got to break out of this line here, 555 area. Maybe you can scalp up to 575. But there's a little bit of 20-cent room here if we can get that 555 out of the way. Yeah, BTTR has room to run. So that one doesn't have any news. It has daily resistance all the way up to 1055. So it has room. It just I missed the earlier breakout here just now. So I'm gonna mention though real quick, AKN 555 area to watch. So 555 to 575 is what? That's 20-cent room to run. BTTR, the line here that just was the key area was 608. And unfortunately, as I was going talking, it was already gone. So that's why it just got halted up, and it got room to run here in the daily chart. You can see here this little rat likes to pop out of the hole once in a while. You know what I mean? And then they get extinguished. So take advantage of the pop if you were able to catch it later. All right, back to AKN. This is the one that I personally think needs that 555 candle break. Right now, you got a little wick into that 555. You need to start building support here at 555, and we should be able to get a nice jump on AKN. Stocks up 130%. So holding above 100% means that, you know what? We got a good shot for AKN being a $5 range stock. Go to what? Dollar runs, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, maybe 200% run today if the volume follows. Right now, we are still getting rejected into the VWAP. So we need a nice solid VWAP roll. So what that means is right now we're back at 200. 200 cracks. We're going to go back all the way down to 500 EMA, which is at 458. So unfortunately, look what happened right here. Still breaking what? It's getting rejected into the trend line right there. That's why the 555 was so important right there to get a confirmation, right? Unfortunately, there was just not enough sauce. So back to the support line here at $5 natural support. Let me go down the list here. NCPL. Same thing here, guys. I said we need to look for that nice breakout at 32. Look what happened. This is Wix. Very trappy levels here. You gotta wait for the candle break, right? So that's why these are areas that you know that they're resistance, that therefore what do you gotta do? You gotta make sure on days like today, it's a slower day, you have to make sure for the confirmation. You get loosey-goosey, you don't pay attention, today's gonna be a day that you're gonna lose money, and you know, it won't be a great day to lose money, folks, because you're gonna have a long weekend. You're gonna have to wait till Tuesday. All right, NQ looking good. We're shaping back up nicely here. I like right now we are testing this a little bit of a resistance area. So I do think with the NASDAQ being up, the trade wants to continue just a little bit toppy here though. Let's see. We got to build support at 18,770. This line, and then you know maybe the bulls might be able to get their pink dev line, but okay. We're still making higher lows a little bit still, so a little bit of a pullback there since that little rejection there. So we want to see the buyers come back in, push it back up. So making nice higher lows, it should make a higher high here as well. I got some DMs here. Let me double check. Yeah, for I guess some people that is some people having trouble on Zoom. I have two people saying, well, one person figured back out, but again, the link is available on the live stream. Okay, so great area for a little bit of a quick pop, and then you want to make sure you want to lock in before, again, look at the RSI. We're coming back up towards those rejection kind of levels here, a little bit of overbought territories. Overall market conditions look good. You know, right now currently in the green on all three indices, NASDAQ, Dow, and the SPY. Okay, so we're back at the we got to hold the 18,755 line right here. You see that this area here, 54, 55 area here. So the bulls are going to need to hold that. That's your current support line for the bulls. TIRX, man, we're still not being able to break out above that. Looks like BTTR, we did get unhalted. So I do want to watch BTTR because this maybe if I get a $7 hold shuffle, I think BTTR might be able to do a quick pop, you know. I think BTTR has a lot of room. We just need a solid $7, you know, candle break there. Just be a little bit cautious. 701 is right now the up halt. So if we can drill through this really nicely, that'll be great but it's a little bit where, you know, you really want to make sure that this thing gets that solid break. So if you're not sure, you can add some and then add more once it's confirmed. We got an up halt now, 715. So we are still getting juice. BTTR is where the juice is at, as in the buyers, the momentum is here. 715 up halt right now. So it's a little bit tricky in the whole number area as always. So just make sure, you know, right now we got to wick into it. You want to wait for that confirmation of the candle to close, right? This is exactly why we need to always make sure, not just straight up buy into it. Wait for it. 726 up at the moment. It's holding that VWAP right now in the 10 EMA. They're like sitting together right at 640. So you don't want to see 640 crack. Otherwise, you got this thing is volatile. Okay, look at the float right here. It's on 746,000. So this thing is gonna be a quick one. If your heart doesn't, if your heart can't take it this morning, I say just, you know, reduce your share size or just don't participate. But once we get a little juice, this is an easy mover. Better Choice Company. So higher lows, higher highs. That's the only thing that I'm a little bit concerned of. So that's why I wanted to wait until we get that confirmation. And if we can get that nice confirmation, like I said, the daily is what I like. The daily room it has on this. So okay, preferably I would have liked to enter at 608, but I was already halted up, and that's fine. There's no other stocks right now. Everything's pulling back down to the 500 EMA. AKN approaching 500 EMA. TIRX right at 500 EMA now. And the only thing that's above all indicators is BTTR at the moment. All right, so this trend line crack, it was already looking bearish. Like I said, it's coming up towards these rejection RSI levels. So we're getting another pullback here. We can get rid of this line for now. Okay, so the only thing that's holding up on NQ is that VWAP right now. So or the 200 EMA as well. That's kind of around the same similar areas there. Um, yeah, man. The stocks are just like back to the gulag here to the 500 EMA. So I think AKN is an awesome one to keep your eyes on because it's right at the 500. Same with TIRX. AKN and TIRX, top two watches for 500 on the one test and bounce. So if you look at AKN real quick, you see how everything just kind of pulled back to the 500 EMA right here. This is 454 level here. I mentioned it to you guys. It's going to come all the way down to 458, 500 EMA at the time. So it came all the way down here after that rejection into this downtrend line. We needed to break that solid candle break there. Since we want to talk about a lot of Fridays, you're going to see a lot of wicks, a lot of traps because Fridays on the stock side, it is sort of the bearish day, right? Because people are going to dump into the weekend. There's not many active traders, you know, trading, so the volume's not going to be as crazy. So a lot of these areas of resistance, they're not going to be able to break out as easily. So people dump into it, and then what? They'll go ahead and they see that it's not becoming support, and then they start shorting into it. That's why you see a lot of these names just absolutely tanked right now, and it's normal for Friday. NCPL coming back up a little bit after the big dip down. I bet you this one came down to the 500 EMA as well. They put this up on my watch or on my chart. Yeah, this one came down to the 500 EMA too right there. That was a 28-cent area there. That's the 500 EMA dip. So these guys bought it up, gobbled it up, and now they're like, all right, let's get some Thanksgiving here. 32 cents still, I would watch. Okay, right now we are starting to break that 32-cent line again here on NCPL. So expect probably another wick into that resistance, wait for the candle break. Nice bounce off the VWAP or 200 as well on the NQ. I will say probably right now your best bet on the future side is to stay more bullish because the market is green on the Nasdaq and you're going to have better options for the long side. So if it does pull back, wait for the dip support level entries and then sell into the resistance lines like right now here at 18,770 line here. So right now that's another sell line at 18,770. Now you want to see what 18,770 becomes support, and then we got room towards that 18,793 area there. I would say, yeah, on the stock side today, um, be looking out for more pullback buys like AKN. I just told you 500 EMA at 454, 458 area. That's looking good right now. And then sell into the resistance because the breakouts right now on Fridays is going to be a little bit tough. All right, on the futures, on the other hand, is fine because we have the Nasdaq up, like I said. So we should be able to get a new higher high here as we are starting to still build at higher lows and higher highs. So should be seeing a new high day. There it is, a new high. Beautiful, gorgeous pop there. Yeah, looking good, just a little extended again. So you know, probably gonna see a little bit of pullback again, a little bit as we make higher lows, but as long as we're continuing to build that higher level support, should be a-okay. All right, let's see. ATR is 18 now, so let's increase nicely there.
BSAG, SMFL, SMR, MORF, ASPN. ISSC.
Expect a little bit of pullbacks along the journey of this because, you know, it is getting a little like right there on the 5 minute here. So, you know, this is going to be a little bit tricky area here. You might get a little wick up, but most likely it's going to be a little rejection there. So as long as we're within that channel, I think we'll be okay. But I think the smartest thing to do on Friday is just to wait for the pullbacks, wait for it to come back down support levels. But ONMD just got a new high today, apparently. Okay, ONMD. So this was a play yesterday, right? This was this was one of my favorite trades of the day yesterday. We had 67-cent breakout yesterday and then a 150, I believe. So 150, not 150, 67 was yeah, our first trade of the day yesterday. All the way back here, 67. Back then, so 67, and then we got it all the way up to 2. So ONMD is looking like it's going for day 2 since there's not many runners out there right now. So I think a lot of traders are just kind of expecting that. Wait a second. It's live on the link. Hold on. I'll post it again, guys. I don't know what happened. It just disappeared. That is so strange. Huh. For those that are not on the Zoom for some reason, here is the link. I don't know why. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, yeah, that's strange because people were already on it. I don't know what happened. That's weird. Well, I don't know, but there were just like maybe there was like 20 of you guys on, and then now we got another 17 people on, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. So yeah, major pullback here on NQ, guys. You know, higher high, third touch, and then unfortunately it is a massive pullback here down to the support level again at what 18,753 line we talked about, and then you got the VWAP left. So market overall still up 53 points on NASDAQ, just a little bit up there. Like I said, watch out here. It's just a little bit toppy here on that trend line. And just still making that little bit of higher low, which is fine here. Looking at that correctly here. Body still should hold here. I'm gonna look for a new entry on LNMD. Obviously, I don't want to chase up here. I want to wait for a pullback. Like I said, on Friday is better to do so. Con's still holding 500 EMA. Yes, we talked about that earlier. ONMD should be getting that pullback, and the pullback area that I think we need to get back in is, well, the thing is EMA wise right now is just riding the 10 EMA. But this could be pressing back down to the 10 EMA around 240 and then set up for a 10 EMA bull flag. Or I'm gonna look for a candle break. So I'm waiting for the new Blues Clues here. Stocks really have been more of a better time this week with these, you know, small caps again, just running over 100%. It's been kind of nice to see again this week. NQ was pretty good Thursday. I think NQ's just been very choppy Monday through Wednesday, previous days as well, but Thursday kind of shaped things back up again. 80 traders looking for BSFC. What is that? Right now, top sixth gainer, BSFC. Let's see. Let's see what this ride is about. Yeah, 360 so far the high of day. Got room towards $4 next. I wouldn't, yeah. Not really seeing any Blues Clues right now, unless you just want to go in, ram it at it 360, and then it goes up straight towards, you know, maybe 385, $4. And then, you know, previously went up to 480. Earlier back at like 4:30s, 4:35 a.m. or something. So right now I haven't really seen that herd shift yet. I think BTTR, we talked about that 608 line, so I think that's going to be your ultimate re-break line again. 608 is going to be a fun one because that's the one that I was looking for that earlier on BTTR. So if 608 can be successful on BTTR, that's that next candle breakout line that I need to see right now. It's going to be a little bit wicky, but when we close it, we have room to run back up on BTTR. Back up at least 643 is a VWAP level. So yeah, just a little bit tricky with this one. It's such a low flow, and we need some bigger buying coming in. NQ back at the VWAP, still holding that support line. Stock kind of slowly pulling back a little bit more. So we're getting this massive pullback still. But it is at a nice level for a rebuy back in right here at the 200 again, because that was where it bounced every time. So we'll see. We got about a minute and 33 seconds. So this line should try to hold and go for another little bounce. But Nasdaq's giving away a little bit more gains at the moment. Yes, Con got a nice bounce off the 500 a little bit. That was the second time bounce on the 500 EMA. Okay. We see how Nasdaq was up like 55 like 3 minutes ago. Now it's only up 37 points. So we're losing some gains here on NQ. But still green, that's important. But this trend line is cracking right now. So that's not something that I like to see, especially with the Dojin opening flat top right here. That's going to be a resistance line now. Got a lot of lines in these zones right here, in the 18,600 to 700. So we'll see here. Yeah, RSI is bearish right now. I say give it one more pop up, and then stay on the bearish side unless you got a different signal here. It's going to be a little bit toppy here, so on that rejection level here in this 14 EMA zone. Let's see how far the RSI has gotten to today. Okay, we have gone down there. That was at like 2 o'clock though. And then the lowest earlier was like 825, around 40 RSI. So it's kind of getting back there. I want to put a line there and just to kind of see if it's going to do anything similar there. A little quick bounce back up here though. Let me see.
FLNC, HNRG.
VWAP on the 5 minutes still holding a little bit. Still maintaining my eyes on NASDAQ. Current pattern is lower highs, and so therefore there's a likelihood it should make a lower low, maybe down to the 18,724 line if this doesn't get back above the 14 EMA here. So
Step. RCL.
for those that didn't hear me earlier, just a friendly reminder, I'm sure everyone knows, but just in case maybe even one person, we have Memorial Day weekend coming on up. So it's going to be a long weekend, folks, meaning we're going to be back here on Tuesday. Market's going to be closed on Monday. So just FYI. But yeah, for all the new members, if you guys are kind of a little lost, you don't know what's going on, you can simply reach out to me or our moderator, the Wizard, and we would love to help you out. We want you guys to, really understand what's going on and not feel lost. So just simply ask. So here's the thing for those that are new. This side here is all stocks. On the right side on the stream, this is all futures. So we trade stocks and futures, and mainly NQ. NQ is the mini for the Nasdaq, which is the tech stocks index, right? So I'm gonna be talking about it simultaneously back and forth. So just in case you guys are like, what's this future stuff? You can read up more about it on the futures channel. Start from the top to the bottom. Take some time this long weekend to read into it, of the prop firms that we're partnered with, and what we use to small money to risk. And then the futures chat, there's a lot of pinned messages on the futures chat that you want to look into. In the next few weeks, my goal is to get a video created for more on the futures, and the Wizard is going to help me with that as well. So that is the plan so that you guys are a little bit more, I don't know how to say it, like better guide instead of just kind of like reading it. So more of a video, I guess. All right. Other than that, you got this 14 EMA here that we're coming back up to. Like I said, we need to start breaking out of this trend line resistance. Otherwise, we are going to still make that lower low again at the rejection line. So bulls are going to really need to do their best to push this area out on up. The line that I have currently is 17,554 line here. That was our previous support line, now resistance. So expect a little bit of rejection here, and then you need to make sure that it is still building higher lows. I personally like to use a 5-minute chart on the NQ on futures, but there's nothing wrong with using 1 minute. It's just a preference thing. For stocks, I strictly use the 1-minute chart and the daily. Sometimes I use a 1-hour chart as well. Friday again for those that are coming in. It's the slowest trading day of the week. A lot of companies don't like to release hot press releases because they know a lot of traders are not as active for the long weekend. Look at this huge pop coming on up. This is why you have to be careful right here because we're starting to wedge out above 14 EMA and going straight back on up. And this time we might be testing back up to our high of the way or the back to the pink dev line here. So very nice pop back up here at the reversal as the candle, what happened, doji and a flat green bottom here, and RSI starting to push back up a little bit here. So very nice pop back up here. I would say now look out for the rejection level there. That's going to be a little bit toppy area there. NASDAQ just did get pushed up. So that's why, you want to take advantage of this kind of push and then lock it in and then look for a little bit of a pullback as well. But that was a nice pop on up. We're going to have 18,800 as resistance. So keep that in mind about that.
COGT, CGC. DJT.
Up to those resistance line again. Traders are going to look for that sell off there again. So just keep that in mind. So just hit the pink dev line. Nice breakout right there. 747 to 18,800. Definitely top resistance line now. You got about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on this candle. So you got plenty of time, but let it kind of pull back. Don't chase that up there now. Back to stocks real quick. I know it's a little bit dead right now, but BTTR is something that I have on the chart still because this stock is a $5 range stock. I love stocks that are $3 to $5 range, as you guys know. So that's something is what I call my go-to range name. So, if you are rather get back in those support levels, like I said today, it's better, or you can look for this downtrend breakout, which is looking to happen. I think BTTR, like I said, has the potential. BTR has the biggest potential for a bigger run today, in my opinion. So if I had to focus on one stock right now, I think it is BTTR. All these other stocks were great earlier, in the morning in the pre-market session. Doesn't mean, it can't run up again. It's just right now, based on the setup, I think BTTR has the best potential because of the lower float. The lower the flow, it's going to be more volatile. So some volume comes in, this could just jump up very nicely. So NASDAQ jumped up to about 85 points from earlier. We were down to just being up like 38 points. So nice sudden spike on NASDAQ. It's very helpful to watch the market here on the NASDAQ so you can get a better gauge as we're climbing on up and setting up higher, higher lows again, breaking out of the downtrend line. Many signals for it to be a buy, right? So the more reasonings you have, then the more confidence you'll have, and the more confidence you have, you will take better trades. You go in blindly, not knowing what's going on, and you just hope for the best. That's when things go wrong because you're like, well, I'm nervous. Well, no crap, you're nervous because you don't know what the heck's going on. You get in and all you see is red and you're like, oh my gosh, and you're freaking out. So, that's why we always talk about plan to trade and then trade the plan. Make sure you have all these indices, indicators, trend lines, You have to look at multiple things and then, calculate at, what's the best probability for this particular instrument to, or, whether you're trading futures or stocks, to be making this type of move. And where would it get sold into? Basic support, basic resistance. Where are the supply and demand? Great demand was happening here. Why? Because look at the previous areas, obviously showed, right? See it to believe it. Bounces at these levels. Buyers come back in and then sells into these lines. Buyers come back in at the same VWAP level, bounces again and sells into this trend line. Look how many times it did. Once, twice, three, four. This is the fifth time. So how many times do you have to see it to believe it? I mean, it's the patterns. It's working every single time, every day. So it's about the timing. You try to get in middle of this area, your chances are going to be lower. You're pretty much gambling, right? So be smart and be a smart trader. Obviously, we're not investing here. We're not saying let's get into Amazon, hold it for 5-6 months or Nvidia, whatever. As a trader, you have to use these indicators and charts. That's what we do. And you get in, get out, secure the bag, and then we're done for the day. All right, so what's going on with this one on AQ? Building higher lows, right? What does that mean? Is this bullish? RSI. See that red line right there? We wedge back up above the average line. It's starting to look more bullish again. Now, what I'm also going to look for, though, is how the RSI have been acting right now. It's been making this little bit of that also on the RSI lower high. So as we come out, we still have a little bit more room, but by the time, expect RSI to be here and then have another rejection as it comes up towards this line here. So you kind of have to kind of coordinate a little bit with using all these indicators and coming up with your best, predictions. That's what it is. It's all predictions, but your prediction rate can be much higher and probability rate is going to be much higher by, looking at these things and be like, okay, this is bullish, this is bullish, this is bullish. If you have at least 3 reasons, all right, then I'm bullish, right? Instead of, well, I just got a feeling that it looks good. I think it's going to pop. Those are not valid reasons to be in. See how all these areas, I'm a breakout trader, all these lines are areas that needs to break. Tough areas today because Fridays, a lot of bears love to short on stocks. So what's going on? You can use these lines that I give you on the flip side, on the short side as well. That's why I keep telling you guys, as a buyer, wait for the confirmation, because once the bears see that it's becoming support, what are the bears going to do? They're going to cover. So that's why I keep telling you guys, not just think like a bull, you got to think like a bear, even if you don't short, because if you think like a bear, then you have that advantage of being able to see how the bears think. So when they're looking to cover, you should be buying, right? When they're looking to short, you should be selling, right? So look, you see how right there, we're coming back up to the higher high line again, to that pink depth line. We're going to make another new high there, and there it is. Why is that? Because we talked about this higher lows and higher highs, and we're hitting up another little bit of resistance here. So the good one general rule of thumb is, anytime you see a new high today, you want to sell, majority of your shares into the new high today. What I like to do is sell like 80% and then hold 20% for just in case. But some people just like to sell it all off, and then the 80% that you sold off, you can get back in, at a lower area. Or, the best thing to do to be at peace of mind if you want, is to sell it all at a new high day and then get back in at the pullback. Now, the other thing is knowing when to cut it off, knowing when the picture, the painting is all messed up. That's when you stop buying, right? For example, if let's say this higher low is so far so good, but what happens if we get up here and then starts cracking here? We get rejected at 18,794 line, and it starts dump. That are you going to keep buying? No, you need to start accepting that, what, the bull move is done and bears are entering. So if you can just kind of make sure you're on the right side, then again, your just chances are a lot higher just by choosing the right trend. Because even if it pulls back, let's say you're on a bull and it's bullish still, but it pulls back, you don't need to be scared because it's still on a bullish trend. So you can dollar cost average onto those, pullback areas, or you can even buy more into the bullish movement. So as the price is still being, bullish, you can add into it. That way, you're making more money because you went you went in more. But the general, again, rule of thumb is don't buy into losers, right? You don't want to be constantly averaging down, averaging down when it's clearly a downtrend. That's where a lot of people blow up their accounts. That's where you have those big red days, and it's not easy because when you have this like winning streak, your ego gets higher, so naturally you just have this tendency to like not cut it off because you're like, well, I have to win because I'm on this huge winning streak. But the smart thing to do is what? Just accept the losses quickly, and then just start the process over again. So I'd rather start at a higher low instead of going straight back to zero again, right? So it's just not easy, but if you can keep practicing it, at one point you're gonna get it. All right, anyways, we are still on the 5-minute chart, still bullish. We got 18 seconds left. This is the time remaining on this candle until the next candle pops. So very helpful for me to notice that. And I don't like to enter when there's only a minute or two left. I'd rather get back in on a new candle. It's a little bit off here today, 8 seconds or so, but okay, so new candle has approached again, higher low. So therefore the bulls are going to try to what? Push it one more time. Our side looks still okay. Probably got probably one more candle, or this might be the last one before the pullback again. So this or one more candle, I'd say, depending on how things go here. All right, anything else on the stock side? Yeah, ONMD got a nice pop back on up. So ONMD is going. Got that re-break on OMD to all the way up to 320 now. I don't know how I missed ONMD because I got too focused on the futures here. But ONMD just got a big, massive pop, #1 gainer right now. Too late to get in right now. I want to get back in on the pullback. And I missed the line at 242 on OMD. 242 line was the key area here. Sometimes you just might not get it all. Sometimes you'll miss it, but a very impressive pop on ONMD. We also need to double check on potential offering. So don't be buying and holding these like a blind rat because, at the end of the day, these are, not the greatest companies in the world. It doesn't seem like, they do need cash, but it doesn't seem like they are in danger of a offering. But you always want to be safer than sorry, especially on Fridays. I'm gonna wait for the new Blues Clues on ONMD. I know that my stock guys are a little bit waiting for a new entries on something, but unfortunately ONMD already took off here at 242. It could be setting up for 10-EMA bull flag if it comes back down to like 290. Okay, NQ though, still very beautiful higher lows and coming up to the higher high line again. And then Nasdaq's up back to 86 points, so looking pretty good still. Nice and healthy. So pull back down to 290 around that level. And then you want to look for a 10-EMA bull flag setup. So I'll mention it here real quick. ONMD, our top play yesterday from 67 cents. This was actually my big money yesterday. I made about almost $10,000 yesterday on ONMD. I was like up 99.58 or something like that. Almost $50 before 5-figure day, but yeah, with stocks now, like, I miss my big days. I miss my 6-figure days, and it just hasn't been like that for a very long time. And I've been just kind of being okay with the 4-figure days, the $1,000-$2,000 days, and that's fine, that's cool, but it's nothing that's like, at one point you're just like, okay, just So it's a little bit more exciting to see the stocks getting a little bit more juice to where you can get up more towards the 5-figure days again. Watch that 10 EMA full flag now. NHOD stands for new high of day. So new high of day basically on this is 322. And now hit a new high of 322. Now watching for a 10 EMA bull flag. Okay, and then if not, oh yeah, we just got a new line here actually. I want to see if we can get that pullback. If not, if the pullback all the way down there doesn't happen to 240, we might be having a little bit more at 256. And that's holding the 10 EMA right now. So I think 10 EMA and then go for the 303. That would be a nice area there. So if we can get that nice 10 EMA full flag set up, that would be nice. And then, you know, we have a lot of room to run here if we can get that.
VHF, VFF,
So watching a 10 EMA bull flag set up here.
FTHF,
You know, I think we got some room more on the. It's already broke through the 200 on the daily here on OMD. Like that was nothing. I double checked though. These trade ideas might be a little bit different. Actually, yeah, it is different. We have all the way up to 338. So there is a little bit more room actually around. We got some 338 area. I'm gonna put a line there. All right, so same thing here, higher lows, another higher high. They're massively taking advantages until the RSI hits this line, I'd say. So right now the bulls are doing their best to gobble up as much as they can. They're riding this nice NASDAQ now up 93 points, but you know, like I said, it's getting a little bit toppy here. So I would definitely expect another little bit of a pullback as every time it does run up, we get a little bit of that pullback again.
SIT, BLS,
Okay, NASDAQ up 99 points now, hitting this resistance. Watch out. You got about 3 minutes and 20 seconds for this to kind of pull back down again and do the same thing, higher lows. But we're kind of coming where we don't really have a whole lot of time, is what I'm thinking here for the bulls, unless the bulls decide to really somehow magically wedge out, depending on how the market looks. But that 100-point mark is going to be important here on NASDAQ.
FLNG, FLNC, FL,
I would just stay clear free right now. Just double check the NASDAQ here. The 100-point mark breaks, then it's going to blow up back to deviation 2 line. So this is a good area to watch. Probably sit on your hands, lock it in for now, and then wait for the next setup unless you want to take a short into it. Personally, I think the bulls are still got a little bit more edge. I'm going to wait just a little bit, although I do think this is going to be, if we end up making this as a high here and then the next 2 minutes, the next candle doesn't make that higher high, then it's gonna be a lower high and we're gonna wedge out of this and we're gonna be seeing a nice short, in my opinion. So it really depends on the NASDAQ right here, right now. So up to 94 points.
NEV, FLNC, FOB,
Oh yeah, so there's a play for 303 for a little bit of a, you know, yeah, we kind of missed the chunk of moves, but sometimes better late than never. Or there's a little bit more room to run here on the daily here on OMD. And Just an all-star player. So like I said, if you want to get in earlier to start something, then you can get for the 10 EMA bull flag. The 10 EMA bull flag is when a play after it hits a new high, then it comes down towards the 10 EMA, sets it up as support, and then wedges out here, and we need to break out. So my line is 303 personally, though, because I'm a candle breakout line player on the Heikin Ashi candlestick. Loosey goosey. Let's see how the Nasdaq is trying to bump above 100 points. So that's why I said don't try to keep shorting here. I would wait just a little bit longer just to double check, because if it starts wedging out of that, you're gonna see that most likely deviation 2 line. It's still getting very toppy though. So I know a lot of the bears are like crossing their fingers that it's going to be a great short soon. So they are on the edge right now here, because it is setting up for a potential great short here. One more wake up and then nice flush. So we'll see, because right now on the 5-minute you have the deviation 1 line at 18.802. You have deviation 2 line all the way to 18.853. So you might see one more pullback down a deviation 1 line around the low 18,800s, but right now that is currently support. So that's just kind of a dangerous thing to look at for the bears. On the 15-minute chart, and technically we have all the way up to the 38 line here. So I would look for a little bit of a pop up, maybe 38 to 53. That would be another good zone. But what I'm really looking for now is that the RSI curled up here on the brand new candle. And we need to start going to, I'm going to use a line to line here right now. This line is just a wick. We have not seen a solid breakout yet, but it is still very bullish for the bulls here. So I'm being more patient on the short side. And you don't want to, again, what did I say today? You don't want to be more on the bullish side. When the market is green, stop fighting the trend. So because it's just going to be a lot more smoother and stress-free trade for you. You don't want to keep fighting and fighting and fighting and averaging and averaging. Yeah, you might be able to come out, with some profits, but that's just not a fun way to trade. It's stressful. Like, why are you keep fighting the trend when you can be just riding the smooth sail? When the wind is blowing that way, let the wind blow to that direction and go with it. So that right there, like I said, shores are waiting for that ultimate, like one, like, what I mean? Great area to have taken a short there, but we're still in this range. So you want to still take some off along the way. Let me go back here. I got a lot of things to look at here. ONMD right now, still for me, I'll wait for the 303 candle break. And then we have the 200 all the way up to 338 area there. So that's what I'm thinking. We have 2 plays for BDTR. So, I mean, first things first, if it can get back above the first lower entry, which is, where was it? 608. So we still have some ways to go. Obviously came all down to 89 EMA. Starting to make a little bit of higher lows again. Might be a better entry at the candle break at 565 next, but I'm not going to overtrade here today. Fridays are my just my green days, because I absolutely hate going into the weekend on any red. So my instinct just kicks in and be like, my third eye open, so to speak. And I'm like, there's just no way I'm going to go red. It's a terrible feeling going into the weekend with red. That's why you got to stay extra laser focused and Make sure that you're not over trading, you're not, you're observing yourself, examining, hey, what's going on? Like what what am I doing? How many trades have I taken already? Like, you need to be up to date. Can't be asking yourself how many times have I traded today and you have no idea. Then you're out of control, right? It's like 3 trades, 4 trade, 5 trades successfully, 6 trades, 7 trades successfully, and then 8, 9, 10 is all losses, and just you just and those losses are bigger than your wins, and now you just erase all your gains, and now you're down in the red again. And now you're gonna have to what? Well, Fridays, you want to eat it up on the stock side earlier. That's what we call a fast money Friday. And most likely stocks are gonna just sell off. So you don't have the luxury to be just the futures market is different. Futures, it can go hot on Fridays in the afternoons, but on stocks, yeah, there's a period maybe it runs up toward lunch hours, but I don't think stocks is something that I would recommend to stick around all day for Friday. So this is exactly why once that deviation one line became support, we have now what do the bears need? The bears need to crack the support line. Just easier to maintain on the long side here. But now I wouldn't like recommend to be buying large on the long now, because we're getting into that zone where we don't know yet if the bulls of the bears of the bulls are going to be able to start building 18,823 as support. If they do, then we should be able to cruise a nice 30-point up to the deviation 2 line. If we don't, and becomes a wick here, we're coming up to the oversold territory. How much time do you think we have until it pulls back? We don't have a whole lot of time. So let the bulls enjoy now for those that been holding. But if you're a new guy trying to enter the bull side now, I'd say your probability is kind of low. You're taking a bigger risk than you should, in my opinion. It's not worth it, I don't think, until you get that next confirmation. So that's why when I say there's 12 5-minute candles in 1 hour, imagine you have 12 shots. You have 12 ammunitions on a gun, on a weapon. So now you're like, well, you don't have to take all 12 shots. Some shots you're just gonna have to miss out on because you're not sure. It's just a little, it's a little wiki. So you're just like, I don't think this is a good for me. So it's getting up here right now on NQ, man. I think we're testing a little bit up here. Just I think 18,829 is gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Just watch out in this area here. I'm just gonna adjust on the 5-minute chart real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of wedging out right now for the bulls. They are doing a pretty decent job wedging it out, but we got 23 seconds left, so wait for the next candle, I'd say.
Right. BGS, MMYT, APLT, ALLK, BB, ARHF.
And Q's up. The Nasdaq's still up 121 points now. Should see a little bit of pullback here. Let's do for a little bit of a pullback. I think my time remaining, I think it's good. It's just like a few seconds off. Lucy's making a little bit of a new high there. Let me see what Lucy has to offer here. Yeah, Lucy got a nice pop. Very nice.
Play. LNT, ACMR, Levi.
Let's see. We got a line at 54. Definitely extend it a bit to my taste. 54 is big resistance. 48, it was the last good area to get back in.
FL. Step, check, don't know. IRBT. DQ.
Okay, NASDAQ pulling back, was up 121, 116. Lucy 0.54 candle break resistance line. I'm just gonna mention it real quick. I already mentioned on the mic, but 54 here for 58. 58, so it's a quick 4-cent room here, and then 68. If Lucy actually catches on fire, this could go, but like I said, it's a little bit extended here. So that's why you want to not just be blind about it and just go in blindly. You just gotta make sure you got a 48 support now. NASDAQ still doing okay. Just I think it's just too toppy for me here. So I wouldn't risk it anymore. A little bit of pullback here to this line here. We should be about there.
CLIR. PIII. URBN. FL. Don't know. 8. FLNC. HUD. APNR. SG. APLT. SMR. AHA. EBRI.
Hey Lucy, 54-cent candle break. Worth watching. Worth watching. It's 10:30. We got the 30 minutes to 11 a.m. rubber dip time. It is a nice time to take a quick stretch break. Watch this oversold territory here on NQ. You see how there's like wicks into 54, so that's a tough area right now of resistance here.
Don't know. EXL definitely have them. DNS. VITL. NXR. Jack. HUD.
We have a lot of resistance at 18,845. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to touch a deviation 2 line personally. Maybe later, but I think 18. I'm gonna put a line at 18,845, and somewhere around there before the deviation 2 line is gonna be tough. All right, I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute stretch break, and then we'll look for our last 20 minutes to 11 a.m. rubber dip time setups.
IPW, IPW. URBN. PIII, play. SG. IPW. CGON. VITL. NXU. Max. MRUS. FLNC, UDMY, AMRC, SMR, CAVA, UROY. Domo, Domo, Domo. BBAI, PLG. Eat. Or ELEV. ANNX. FTCI. ASPN. CAVA. CGON. Domo. MRUS, LFMD. AMPL. VOYA, BV. NCMI, NARI. PIII. AMRC. PIII. CDLX. HUMA. ML. HUT. MNMD, Brothers. MRUS, IRBT. PRME. HSCS, NCMI. ARHS. HNRG. SG. AMPS. DLO. FLNC. AMRC, NARI. PGY, SMR, EVGX, VSAT. MMYT. CDLX, CRDL. HNRG. IRBT. MNMD. HUMA, GSL.
All right, guys, I am back. So let's see what we got here as we come up towards the 20 minutes before 11 a.m. and we're calling it a day here. So Lucy got a nice pop, 54, very strong resistance. That's a line that you could have shorted into as well, as that's a candle break resistance line. Lots of wicks happening today on Fridays, like I said, on these resistance lines. Yeah, I think everything's getting kind of dumped, not dumped up, dumped down. How does it get dumped up? Uh, let's see, PABS was a pull. No, there was no play. That was just 175, 150. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and retract those names so we don't have to focus and waste our mental capital on those anymore. Uh, yeah, BTTR all the way down to the 500 EMA. I'm not gonna wait until it comes all the way back $6, $5 crag is over. It's trash down to the gulag. Yeah, LNMD, it couldn't break the 303. It's all the way back down to 234. So I think your best bet today, folks, on the stock side is what wait for it to come all the way down to 500 EMA. NQ looks interesting right now because we are seeing a curl down RSI. We're starting to finally see some bearishness here. So I think but it's a doji right here. So we do need to pull back down to this line here again, which we did. We just need to crack it down to the pink dev line. So I do want to see that pullback. I think the Bulls already ate up nicely. I think it's like it is their turn now, in my opinion.
Yes, I see. GSL, fund, BL. SUSD. F. BLO. NRUS. AAOI. HS. LCO.
Okay, Lucy, we're coming back up. Like I said, this is bearish, doji, flat top, red, and it is coming down. So that's a very bye-bye birdie. So lower highs and lower lows now. So the trend line crack, where now, like I said, as the RSI bent down, that's your opportunity to start shorting. And now you got the pink deviation line as support still. So the bulls still might have a shot if they keep up the NASDAQ up. But, I think we are going to need this lower highs and lower lows down to the pink dev line. You notice how the 14 may start curling up. So, if that 14 may ends up coming back up here, it's going to be a very strong resistance unless the bears decide to just plunge it down faster right now. But we are bearish. So much better chance for you to stay bearish now on the short side on the futures. Remember, on futures, you don't have to worry about, locating shares like stocks. Anyone is free to short. Basically, you're just predicting that the price is coming down. So you're making money on the way down versus making money on the way up. On stocks, it's very different. Not very different. It's the same concept, but, it's harder for those that have under $25,000. Well, first of all, you do need a margin account, $25,000 to even short. You need a good broker that allows you to get good locates. Okay, but that's not the case for the futures. Some people are just born naturally a bear. Their mindset is like very bearish. Some people are really negative. You know what I mean? And so, it's what it is. Some people just think everything needs to be crashing down, hammer it down, whatever. It's just their brains are a little bit wired differently. So it's great for those that just always want to see price action coming down, then come to the future side and just short it. If you couldn't do it on the stock side, that is. Yeah, futures is definitely, I think futures is more beginner friendly because you can day trade all you want. Although I gotta say, just a friendly reminder, we now have T+1 trading day now for stocks. It's no longer 3-day rule. It settles down in 1 day now. So that's a new update as of, well, not exactly yet. It's gonna update next Tuesday, the 28th. So the SEC changed the law there on that rule. So, but regardless, futures is fun and it's nice because you just have to stick to one thing. Some people like to trade the ES, which is more based on the SPY. I just find the ES to be a little too boring for my taste, a little too slow. You know what I mean? You guys already know I'm coming from the small cap role. I like stocks that are running up like this, rip and pump and dump and see the manipulation and take it up on the ride and then just short and dump it all the way down. That's my style, not watching little ES just climbing like a little turtle. That's not my style. Maybe when I become 80 years old and I still trade, I might be having a better taste like that, but no, thank you. Looking into the gold as well, CL. It's CL oil or gold. You can trade those futures as well, which is something that I'm kind of considering looking into when days like NQ there's gonna be days where NQ is really slow, just like the market and the stock side, but so what I like to do is I have a personal account on Ninja. In the beginning, I just put the prop, but if you're making like say $300 to $500 a day on your prop firm account and you're doing a good job on it, why don't you attach and you can put like $3,000 in, okay, on your account, say on NinjaTrader. It's low amount compared to stocks. Put like $3,000 or $5,000 in and attach it and start making $300 to $500 a day on the future side. And that way you can actually pull out the money because it's your account, it's your personal account. While you wait for the, like say Apex or whatever platform you use, which does take a longer time because you're not risking your capital. So they're providing you that ability to do so. But I'm just saying if you have that some cash, which isn't a lot of cash, guys, like everyone, I told you guys to kind of be smart with your finances. And I've been saying that since like 2 years ago. So, you're still, that's what I'm talking about. So don't be stupid and blowing it up on these dumb trades. Make smart trades and then start stacking a little bit. You don't have to have instant results. A lot of people these days just want instant results. You have to be patient. Great things take time. And so whenever you decide to commit to this trading thing again, please commit. Do not, and be patient. Do not be expecting instant gratification results like all these other people nowadays. Don't fall far into that trap. There is no instant overnight it's like you're asking for like a lottery win. It's not how it works. A long, slow daily grind is way better in the long run. The reward is so much greater than looking for a quick win, a quick big win. The consistent smaller days is much better. I'm telling you right now. So if you maybe want to start as a fresh new future trader, I know some of you guys might have the money and you want to make bigger money, but it always starts somewhere. So maybe start learning to lock in $50. Be grateful for the $50, and then the $50 starts where you can start kind of now go for the $100 and then the $200. Prove yourself that you've earned to be able to make a little bit more and more. It's a gradual increment. So it's always a gradual process, right? You can't just suddenly jump and let me just put in $100,000 into my NinjaTrader account. And you know what? I want to have those $10,000 days. Screw this $50 days. That's cute. You can't even prove yourself that you can do $50 a day for 30 days straight, and yet you're trying to put in 100K, and the next thing you know, that 100K is gone in 30 days, bro. That's the true story of how the folks come into the market. They think they have like 100K laying around, and they just put it in, and then next thing you know, they put another 100K, and that person is more of a loser than the guy that put in 1,000, because he might have just lost 1,000 over the course of a few month or two, and the other guy lost 200K because he thought he can just it doesn't make any sense. Like, how can you do the big things when you can't even do the small things? So my point of it is, if you're constantly thinking about, well, only if I had more money, Dave, I would be successful. That is not true. I know somebody's like, well, this guy, his dad he got some inheritance money. Yes, if that trader knows how to trade well, yeah, that guy's gonna make a nice living. But you don't know, you never was able to make successful trades when you had a small account and you were just granted, a lot of money. Expect to lose a lot of money on that account. So gotta start somewhere, folks. That's a beginner step by step. So it's all about building good habits too. So with your small account and these prop firms, what's great about them is it's your job is to build that discipline. Prove yourself that you can build on some prop firm account. And if you can do that, then great. But it comes with good habits, and it's a process. Don't expect it to be overnight. But once you reach that level, then the consistency starts coming in, and then you start getting paid, and you're on that momentum. Now, once in a momentum, it's not going to be just up, 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 up. Yes, just like in life, there's going to be some setbacks. Okay, but they're not setbacks, they're setups, right? They're setting up for the next greater highs. You need a little pullback, a little lesson in your lives. Get a little beat up, right, so to speak, and then you learn your lesson, you get toughened up, and you keep going forward. People that can't stomach through the pain and it's too hard for them, they give up. And now they're just sitting in their caves, not coming out of their hole, right? So you don't want to be that person. So what happened to 54 break here, by the way, Lucy? See how these lines 54, and then we got a line all the way to 68. So if you look for the 54 candle break here, so far so good here. We got a nice higher low forming and higher high. So this is not, again, anytime you make a new high of day, sell into it. Anytime you make a high of day, sell into it. New high of day, sell, pull back buy again, sell, pull back buy. Right now, it's just right in the 10 and 25. They made the last dip was 25 right here. At what time? 10:40. I do think, BTTR and ONMD is they both got very similar look. Look, pull up BTTR and ONMD. Put them side by side, they look very similar. Top, if you stick around, I would still watch those two, just in case. All right, NQ bounce back at this trend line here, wedged out of the downtrend line, and now we're back coming up to the deviation 2 line. So now and Nasdaq's up 138 points, so very bullish day here for Nasdaq. And the RSI also curled up, so that's why on a day that's bullish still, take advantage of the quick pullbacks, but don't be married into being a bear when the market is a bull market right now today. Well, folks, we got 5 more minutes. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Love to help you answer any questions you guys have. A member did message me earlier asking about all these sessions are recorded. So the reason for the delay was because I wanted to kind of find an editor for the videos where, it doesn't, there's no really need to be a lot of edits, but just trying to figure that out. I mean, I can make it raw and just put it out there, but I think it'll be kind of cuter if it's, it's got a little better look, but yeah, we'll be uploading. My plan is upload on a YouTube channel, so I'll give you a link, put it on a channel here in Discord, and then review those sessions. I think it will be great for the long weekend for those that are just kind of be relaxing by the beach or in the mountains or whatever, or if you're just in the backyard, just kind of tune into the old sessions and just listen in and see how those past trades have gone. And I can promise you, you will learn and digest and actually see things better for the next day trades. So I think it'll be helpful for those also that miss out on the live sessions, and you can go back and see how the session went for that day. So I'll be releasing those this weekend. But he also asked me if how do I know about offerings when a stock has offering or not. You want to go to bamsec.com. Okay. And basically look for stocks. So I'll post a link here. It's already pinned messages. There's plenty of links that's listed. But for filings, I like to use BAM SEC. And then when you go there, like for example, right here, right? We got bamsec.com. And then let's say you want to find out if Lucy has some sort of offering. You type in Lucy, right? So on S3 filing is going to be on an S3. It's the shelf registration right there. As of this year, earlier, 3 months ago, there is an S3 that did file. Those 424B forms also means that they can drop an offering anytime. So you want to kind of also go use finviz.com, and this is another helpful. These are all free, by the way. So go to finviz.com and then type in Lucy, and then look at. I like Finviz. I think Finviz I use Finviz every day. Shows the flow, usually correct, more than the Trade Ideas here. Trade Ideas is not built for something like this. They're built more for the scan, like what's unique about Trade Ideas compared to other companies is they make new high day calls, and it's kind of laid out kind of pretty, and you got custom scans and all this whatnot. But you can see the institution ownership is 1%. That's nothing. So obviously, a lot of day traders are gonna love to, pump and dump the stock easily. A lot of day trade retail traders, right? You can see the news here. Yeah, so just look for those basically, and I think you'll be a-okay. I'm gonna be gone for about 4 days, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity for cousin Eddie to come back in, and maybe he can give you a better, maybe a lesson on offerings as well. He's probably also better at giving a different other types of lessons, but I'll be gone June, second week of June, basically. I'll be there on Monday, but I'll probably leave on the 11th through the 14th. So just FYI, I'll be gone. I just won't be able to live trade basically, and so I'll have cousin Eddie be on during those days. If you want to just mark it on your calendars. Okay, well, guys, I mean, overall, green day for both stocks and futures today. You know, I think today was a very easy day. I like days like today where things are more calm, and the last, like I said, Monday through Wednesday on the futures market was rough. It was just, I don't like it when the ATR is like 8 to 10 or even 15, half above the, that just means that you just don't have a whole lot of range. And so that doesn't mean you can't make money on it, but you just got to learn to quickly adjust. Because if you're looking for 20-point moves, you're just not going to get 20-point move. And so what happens is you're going to get, small wins and then bigger pullback if you're on the long side. And I just kind of learn to like adjust quickly. So what that means is next Tuesday when we come back, keep in mind it's also going to be a short week because we're starting on a Tuesday. So it's going to be a slow day probably, because usually the holiday weekend before and the after, it is a little bit kind of slow. So you know what? Come in with lower expectations, but it could surprise us, and that's always better. So, well, guys, it's 11:01 here. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. I appreciate everybody tuning in this morning on this beautiful Friday. I wish everyone a happy Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy yourselves and with your family, friends, and your loved ones, or by yourself, whatever you're trying to do. But enjoy, be safe, and have a great weekend, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you guys back here on Tuesday.